like they become like a
Welcome, everyone, to Mastermind Seminars Live. We would like to welcome those who are in our location here today, as well as all those who are participating via video streaming at our satellite locations all around the world. We'll be introducing our event today and then turning it over to the very capable hands of some amazing presenters who have graciously given of their time and their amazing talents to share their insights into things which will change our lives as well as our businesses. The main question we want you to ask yourself is, why am I here? Is that a valid question to ask? Yeah. Why am I here? Maybe it's making money. Maybe it's saving more time. Maybe it's addressing my biggest challenge. Maybe it's working on my life vision. Whatever it is, we are here to help you do it. And the way it's going to happen is that you're going to get excited and you'll have the great temptation to do absolutely nothing about it because you are going to feel fantastic when you leave. You really will. I guarantee it. The way it's going to turn into money for you, and the question you have to ask yourself is, how can I turn what I learned today into money for me and my business? Well, it's going to be mind-numbing discipline in two key areas, in only two. One is intellectual, showing up or being on the live stream absolutely every single month, once a month, that's it, once a month, and then the implementation or the application is once a week. We have mastermind groups that meet on the phone in 30-minute segments that will absolutely change your life. Or meet live with the Coffee Connection weekly, and you have to have at least two buddies, two partners from today who participate with you today where you hold one another accountable. You have to do it. You have to do both to make it happen, to achieve what you set out today to achieve. To ensure each participant has rock-solid follow-through, we have a system for that. Go to www.mastermind-seminars.org/register. That's www.mastermind-seminars.org/register, and we will assist you in having strong follow-through with what you learn. Does everyone have what we call the fourfold? The fourfold has 14 different panels which you will be able to visually see and take home with you. On panel 6, please write down your biggest challenge, and then as you work through today, write down any ideas you have for solutions. Do not leave here today without having very specific solutions you will commit to do over the next 30 days with at least two other buddies from today's event. So, the topic today, and we have 12 topics every single year. Panel 5 on the fourfold are the same topics each and every year. Your MC or host will share with you the specific topic for today. With each topic, each month, at this event, we have 7 segments. Segment 1 is speed networking, which will be done at each individual location. You'll share your name, your company, your organization, what you would like to accomplish today, your biggest challenge, and your elevator speech. Everyone will break up into groups of 4 individuals, and each person will have 3 minutes to share these 5 things with others in the group. Once everyone has shared, then you will form new groups and do the same thing again. You keep doing this until your MC or host shares it's time to do something else. Segment 2 will be wins and biggest challenges, which is panel 6 on the fourfold. And the MC or host for each location will take 10 minutes to have local groups share their wins from last month's event and or your biggest challenges. Segments 3, 4, and 5 are the 3 elements to the BOS, the Business Operating System, which is panel 7, 8, and 9 of the fourfold. The BOS, Business Operating System, is the engine that runs our business. We earn the money we earn, work the hours we work, we have the stress we do or do not have due to our BOS. And the first element to our BOS, our engine, is the DNA for people, or personality masteries. The second segment is DNA for business, and the third segment is DNA for life. Segment 3, panel 10 on the fourfold, the DNA for people, is personality masteries. We can learn how to identify someone's personality in 15 seconds, and once we know someone's personality, we know their strengths, their weaknesses, what they like, don't like, why they will or won't work with us. We even know if they are married, probably the type of person they're married to, the strengths and weaknesses within their marriage. Yeah, pretty much amazing stuff. Imagine having a system that is so powerful that it will help you increase the leads your business receives, help you convert more leads faster, and obtain more referrals. In segment 4, panel 11 on the fourfold, the DNA for business, this is what we call the 530 grid. There are 5 areas in one's businesses. Area 1, marketing. How do we generate more and better leads? Area 2, pre-sales. How do we convert more leads to clients? Area 3, the sale. How do we convert leads faster? Area 4, servicing. How do we service our clients in the most amazing way where they refer everyone they know to us? And Area 5, client for life, where our clients become our partners and we start to work with all the spheres of influence they are connected with. In segment 5, panel 12 on the fourfold, the DNA for life. This is natural laws. Natural laws govern all that we do. In many ways, it's the hardest of the 3 DNAs to teach, to learn. There are over 500 natural laws which govern our business, our income, and really every area of life. One of those natural laws is the cluster principle. The cluster principle states that it's not unusual that someone making a buying or selling decision will know between 3 and 9 other people over the next 6 to 12 months who are making a similar buying decision as our prospect or client. Imagine what would happen with our business if we had every prospect referring us 2 or 3 or even more additional prospects. Yes, our businesses would double each and every year, and that's just one of the over 500 natural laws applied through our BOS, our engine. Again, BOS consists of DNA for people, DNA for business, and DNA for life. And it's the engine that runs our business, organization, and depending on how good it is, all the money we're going to earn, the time we're going to have, the stress and the life balance you're going to have or don't have. Segment 6 is Q&A, and that can be done either at your local level or it can be done through the video stream. That's up to your local MC or host, because we're going to hit you with a lot of information today, and I hope you're ready, but this will give you a little opportunity to do decompressing. In segment 7, great things are going to happen next month, and we'll all come back together again as we can accomplish so much more together than we ever could on our own. So absolutely everything we do today will be focused on the topic for the month, which will be shared with you in just a minute. Are we clear? Do we understand what we will be accomplishing today, or at least a big picture perspective?
Wow, man, I'm excited. Wasn't that a great video? Welcome. I'm so glad you got a chance to see that. That's going to set the stage. That's going to set the tone. That's going to set the entire theater of what you're about to see today. And I don't mean theater in the sense of a show that we're trying to wow you, but in the sense that all around us there are things that we have to perceive all day long. And this month in our Mastermind Seminars live event, and I'm so excited. We're in year 4, and our topic today is leadership. This year, we've gone through the value of installing systems, generating more and better leads, converting more prospects to clients, converting prospects faster, generating a large quantity of referrals, and creating a client-for-life relationship. Now that we've got those first 5 or 6 done, and have we? Maybe not. But once we've gone through those 6 steps, the next thing is leadership. It's creating massive profits. And how do we do that? Well, part of the thing in leadership that's going to set the tone for everything today is going to be connecting the dots. And so I brought a little visual representation. Does anybody know what this picture is? I mean, you can see this on your screen right now, can't you? Can you see it? It's pretty clear, isn't it? Well, let me help you out here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually connect the dots, okay? And what I'm going to do now is just bring all together, and maybe the whole thing is going to look a little bit more like, did anyone see the rooster? Well, somebody saw the rooster before, and then they connected the dots. And they took the lines out and let us have a little bit of fun and intrigue us to say, what really is that picture? Isn't that leadership? It's connecting the dots. But in leadership, you have to have the image in your mind. You have to have the vision in your mind of where you want to be in the first place. But don't give people all the answers. Why? Because they won't learn from themselves, and they'll constantly be looking to you. Unless you just want to feed your ego, and just go ahead. Go ahead. Give them all the answers. Let them be your little pet slaves, okay? Let them be your little cubicle cows, whatever you want to call them. And we're having a little fun with that, but that's really true, isn't it? But it is connecting the dots. But once we've connected the dots, then we have to say, now what are we going to do with this picture? Now that you help them do that in leadership, the next thing is top grading your thoughts. You might have 1 million thoughts a day. A lot of leaders do, because typically they start businesses because they have a great idea. It's just making sure that idea gets carried out. That's what we're going to be talking today about leadership and how the amazing system you're about to see is going to absolutely change your life. So what I'd like to do is direct you, if you haven't already gone to it, in your mastermind-seminars.org, mastermind-seminars.org. On that page, you're going to see a yellow banner in the upper right-hand corner that says live. That's how you're seeing me and all of our speakers today. All are amazing speakers. I can't wait to introduce them to you. They're phenomenal, and you're going to learn a lot today. But in that, you're going to see fourfold. You're going to see a banner that says fourfold, and if you click that, you're going to see what's coming up here. And there's a 7-step, 7 parts to our Mastermind Seminars Live every single month. And we do this every single month. We've done it for 4 years. So this month's topic, of course, is leadership and creating massive profits. And the segment that we're going to be starting with right after I do my introduction is speed networking, which is going to blow your mind. It's not like networking like you know it. It's absolutely phenomenal. It's light years ahead of that. The second thing is wins and biggest challenges. We're going to share that. And then there's what's called the BOS system. I'm so excited. I got to take a breath. Okay? BOS is the business operating system. You all have one right now. And the business operating system is what? It's something that gives you the income you have, the time you have, the time you do or do not have, the stress you don't have, that you do have, and the lifestyle that you have. And what we're trying to do is give you a system that can be implemented into what you're currently doing right now that's going to help you earn more money, do it in less time, do it with less stress, and better life balance. So the first segment, again, is networking, speed networking, wins and biggest challenges, and the BOS system is going to be the DNA for people, the DNA for business, and the DNA for life. Now, the DNA for people is what we call personality masteries. If you don't understand who you're talking to, how are you going to effectively communicate the way they will appreciate? Secondly, it's going to be the DNA of business, which is the 530 grid. It's a phenomenal, powerful tool that is unlike anything you've ever seen. It's going to help you understand how business operates. Then there's going to be the natural laws. And what are the natural laws? Well, there's over 500 that have been discovered, and more, the natural laws are the things that tie all of the things together we're going to be talking about today. Personality masteries, the 530 grid, and the natural laws. That's the BOS system. After that, we're going to take a breath, and we're going to do some Q&A. Because if you have felt like you're taking a drink out of a fire hose today, chances are you actually will. That's exactly how this thing operates. And then we're going to talk about next month, great things yet to come. There's phenomenal things going on. So let's dive into this. And the first person I want to introduce is the president of Synergy Solutions. His name is Mark Boersma, and he's going to be helping us with understanding how leadership and the powerful speed networking is going to help change our lives, help us make a lot of money, and help other people around us do the same. So, Mark, welcome, and please take us through this.
Hey, thank you, Kevin. So, if you've participated with us in the past, you have kind of a foundational piece. We're going to be doing something more advanced today than we have in the past. Speed networking is essentially, it's like speed dating. It's where you're connecting very quickly to use our intuition, but there's a science to it. And so what you do is just go around the table and everybody takes 2 to 3 minutes. Don't tell people what you do. You know what? That just feeds our ego. Share, my biggest challenge is this. Share, this is what I'd love help on. my personality is in the geo test is going to be analytic, driver, amiable, expressive. In the pain quadrant test, it's going to be a driver, analytic, amiable, expressive. And if I could change one thing about myself, this is what I'd change. And all I do is just do that, and then you're writing down feverishly, and you go around 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people, then you'll find more out about an individual, and they'll find more out about you, where we can really significantly impact. Mastermind is very different, very, very, very different than anything people have ever participated in the past. Like networking groups is you give me a fish, I give you a fish. We both have fishes. I guess it's okay. But mastermind is how do we learn to leverage? In the network, there's a huge movement, and there's 4 individuals. They're like secret individuals that are putting together the white paper that will turn into a book, that will turn into seminars, that will turn into events and coaching and consulting all over the world. And it's leverage. The title is Leverage, the art of positive motivation and manipulation. I mean, it's just, I am so excited I can barely even wait. But it's learning how do we leverage. So in today, leadership, creating massive profits, how do we leverage one another's 7 T's: time, talent, treasure, trust, truth, temple, and thought. Alan's going to be talking about the natural laws, and Rosanna's going to be blending that into the 530 grid, and Cheryl's going to be talking about personality management. Like these segments, you can't even imagine, like 10 minutes, like how in the world can you get anything done in 10 minutes? There's an event in Cincinnati coming up soon, and then there's going to be another one in Denver, and then in Boston, and then they're working on one in Hawaii. Like, oh my gracious, we all want to be there for that one. And then they're actually working on over in Jerusalem and in China and in Africa too. Like this is going worldwide. Why? Because it's different. So if you invite somebody to participate in this and they say, well, I've done something like this before, try not to laugh. And try not to be condescending, try not to laugh, try not to mock them, and just smile and say, you know what, I'm pretty sure you probably haven't. And so what are we going to do for speed networking today? Well, we're going to take it another dimensional jump. And Alan Stein, he's the leader of a mastermind group called Dimensional Living and Dimensional Thinking. And Alan is taking his team, Tanglewood Conservatories. They build $1 million beautiful conservatories all over the world. And he's put together multiple speaking teams and taking them all over the country to speak at the mastermind seminars, live events. And it's like, it's so funny, sad, kind of, sort of, in a way, where people that are local, well, I'm so busy and I don't know if I can attend. Or maybe somebody has to drive a couple hours, or maybe somebody has to fly in and they're like, I don't know, I'm really busy and it costs money to do that. And they're kind of whining. Alan's flying an entire team in, and he has done this for now going into his second year. Alan, why do you believe that mastermind seminars is so powerful for Tanglewood Conservatories and building teams? And why do you think, Alan, that attracts like phenomenal, amazing employees from all over the world to Tanglewood Conservatories?
I'm not sure Alan is on, but what I can say on his behalf, this is Cheryl, I'm HR here at Tanglewood, is Tanglewood is very much promoting their team members to think outside the box, to think differently. And taking a team to these seminars, it blows our mind so that we can grow by leaps and bounds, personally and as our team, and we let that excitement feed back into the ones that we left behind to generate the excitement for them to want to go. And this helps build Tanglewood. It builds the theme of Tanglewood, and we can spread that to all others, all architects, any type of business, to let them see how Tanglewood, just promotes itself within using its team members.
So you'd say, Cheryl, if it's, if I'm getting the gist of it, you'd say that like this mastermind seminars is not just for owners of companies. It's not just for leaders of companies, but every single employee would benefit from it. And if Alan's willing to fly his employees, from Maryland all over the country, probably all over the world very soon, if he's willing to invest the time and the money to go ahead and fly his employees, I think what you're saying is every HR director, every owner, every leader of a company would be wise to greatly consider to bring entire teams to mastermind seminars when it's in their area. Would you say that's a good synopsis?
That is a great synopsis, Mark, because when you bring a team, you get that unity going. And when you have that unity going, your business just grows, and the team members can take the business and feel like it's their own. So
Nice.
It gives the leaders freedom to take off, like you, a week, a month, to be able to go after their life vision.
So what Cheryl's referencing is I have been blessed to have 20 hours of free time a week, and I take off 1 week a month every month, so you have 3 months off a year, because these systems work. And when you do like Tanglewood does and develops people, like I've developed people in my organization, my company, in my network, when you're developing other people, they want you to take off. Get out of here, because we can do all of these type of things. Very exciting. Love it. Oh, and if you're looking for a job, not really a job, really a career. No, really being an entrepreneur, but being within a company, I would check out Tanglewood Conservatories. That's www.tanglewoodconservatories.com, and check out the employment opportunities they have. Unbelievable organization. You'll enjoy it a lot. They have also contributed massively back into single moms, kids at risk, and a lot of other great causes as well. And so Emily and Nicole are working on doing those types of things, and they're working on projects of literally bringing peace to the Middle East. They're working on, helping individuals over in Africa start their own companies, individuals in China to think differently, local events, regional events, and then worldwide events. Nicole, are you with us today?
I am.
So what's your heart, what's your vision for Untangled Minds, and how do you think it can help people in growing their business?
I think my heart in Untangled Minds is, first and foremost, helping students develop something that you don't usually get to develop in schools. I'm still in school, and I'm about to graduate this year from college, and one of the things when I look back at high school is I never learned any of the soft skills or the actual life success skills that I actually needed. I didn't learn how to communicate in a work environment. I didn't learn that I needed to have a life vision to understand what I even want to do in life or how to fill my life. So all of these things that could really help build our students, not only help students, but as they go to pursue what they love and pursue their passion, you're going to get a workforce in your business that is phenomenal, and they can be shaped and molded by the industry, not just, technical knowledge from school teachers. So it's a unity between schools and local businesses that we take the single mind, sort of help merge them together so, everyone benefits.
Nice. Nice. Kevin, you're participating in Coffee Connections, the Chicago chapter, but it's not really the Chicago chapter. It's a worldwide chapter. It resides out of Chicago, but it's video streamed on Tuesday mornings at 6:30 Central Time. And if you're, on the West Coast, that's 4:30. I don't even know what time it'd be over in, Australia, but it'd be worth getting up. But you can listen to the recording, at least for the first hour of it. And it's mycoffeeconnections.org. And then if you go down to, I think it's View Coffee Connections Live. And then you're doing some really exciting things, Kevin, in the Coffee Connections handouts, where you're helping people do triangulation selling and actually clone themselves with a really neat survey that helps people to better understand, where their needs is and how they connect that. Any thoughts, insights you have on why Coffee Connections is so powerful, Kevin, and why they'd want to use this Coffee Connections survey to really bring a tremendous amount of added value?
Right, because when it comes to actually overcoming or accomplishing the biggest challenge we currently have, which is preventing us from getting this success, whatever we want, whether that's monetarily or maybe that's emotionally, or maybe that's just growth of our business, maybe that's relationships, maybe it's understanding people, whatever that is. What it does is that it helps us, gives us a tool where we can actually use that to move ourselves forward. And what I found through the iterations to success, which is if there's 100 steps to success, it could be 100 years, 100 months, 100 weeks, 100 minutes, or it could be 100 seconds. What we're trying to do is that is actually going to help people get to success a lot faster, because we're going to understand where they're coming from, what they want, what they need, how we can improve, and then it ties back their biggest challenge into the actual solution. Not just talking about it, but being able to tie it into the solution so that they in turn can have the success they want. And that creates a lot of massive value. And the crazy thing is we don't charge any money for that. It's what we try and do is pay it forward then to, like you said, what Alan's been doing with the kids at risk, things like that. So
nice.
It's a tremendous tool.
Nice. Yeah, and so I know we're out of time, so I just want to wrap up. The November event in Cincinnati, you'll want to check that out. If you're, fly in, it's worth it. There's Jonathan and Alex are doing some amazing things with MVP, the MVP Network .org. And so you can go to www.mvpnetwork.org and then check out, some video examples. They're working at, are you a millennial? Or do you know any millennials? You trying to figure that out? They're putting together an entire project on understanding millennials and how do you tap in to the amazing things within millennials, and how do you overcome some of the maybe some pretty significant gaps that maybe some millennials have. Also, if you're a woman or you're interested in women, I have a wife of 33 years, 4 daughters, 3 granddaughters, so I have a lot of interest in women. Awesome women, and there might be some things that might be shared later about them. They are doing just they're having an amazing impact on women. There's also a book that's being written, I think it's Business Sense from an Everyday Housewife, that every businessman, every male on the planet should read, because it will help you to think in a very different way. So that's what we've got for today, Kevin. Hopefully that was helpful to everybody.
Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, Mark. Really appreciate it. And for those, again, reminding you, if they're on our live feed here, you want to participate, we want you to participate. So if you got a Twitter account, we want you to go to MM_seminars. Again, Mastermind Seminars, and it's MM_seminars. You can tag it, or the instructions are on your video. It's right below where you can see the video screen. So right about here, I guess, or right here where you can see that. I want you to put that in. We're going to be able to record your information. You're going to see it on the screen on your Twitter account, and you're going to be able to participate. We want to help you. We want to encourage you to do that because you're part of this. Make this your own. So we're moving into the wins and biggest challenges, which is the second segment of what we do. And wins and biggest challenges helps us kind of gear what we're doing in practicality, making sure that what we're doing makes a difference in people's lives. Mark had mentioned the coffee connections. If you're not involved, you can get involved virtually with the information that Mark had already given us. But there's also coffee connections pretty much everywhere in the United States, and I know that there are starting up globally. So you could participate in that. And the benefit is you have a local group of people. What should you do? You should make a success circle of 12. And one of the things I found is by creating a success circle of 12, what is that? 12 people in your immediate area geographically that think outside of the box. Think outside of the box. Then what you want to do is that you want to invite them not only to the Coffee Connections, but to something which is called a 30 minutes strategy session, and it's free, absolutely free. You find out your personality, you find out how you like to be communicated with, how you can help other people communicate, your biggest challenge. There's so much, and it happens in 30 minutes that can actually change the trajectory of your business. Most businesses don't find that out until maybe 2, 5, 10, or 15 years later, and by that time, we know that in the first couple of years, most businesses fail. Why would you want to fail when you have an opportunity for success? So being part of a Coffee Connections is going to absolutely do that. And then it's going to help you to do what? It's going to help you to drive to be part of our mastermind seminar here in November. And I know we're skipping a month, but I'll tell you, next month in October is going to be great. Right here, same place, same channel. But in November, it's going to be in Cincinnati, where they're going to be starting with the value of installing systems. You don't want to miss that. Why? Because it's going to change everything. If you're an architect, you need to be there. Why would I fly to Cincinnati if I'm not there, or maybe I'm going to not get business? Let me tell you something. If you knew that your business could change in a heartbeat, like I found that mine can too, with not only the mastermind seminars, but also the Coffee Connections, why would you not be there? Because that event is going to change everything for you. November 17th in Cincinnati, Ohio. Use your Twitter account, MM_seminars. Ask the question, how do I get involved? We'll get you the information. Mark, are there any other wins or biggest challenges maybe you have or that you see that everyone here can benefit in terms of leadership?
It's interesting, Kevin, on how in the book Good to Great, it talks about the flywheel. And it's like I don't know. I mean, I've owned my own company for 26 years, and there were months, years, sometimes even decades where it's like, am I making any progress? Like, am I moving forward? In The Tipping Point by Malcolm Gladwell, there's certain things that create tipping points. And if we're aware of those things, like a mastermind, being a sponsor of a local mastermind seminar, or leading up a Coffee Connection, those can be catalysts. Those can be tipping points, especially a mastermind seminar. You do it, once a quarter. You start off the value of installing systems. Get on local TV, no cost. It's part of community partnerships, community and businesses working together. So I think, Kevin, there's that. There's also in the Good to Great, it's genius surrounded by 1,000 other people. And so do each one of us, Kevin, really understand the genius within us? Tom Kuhn's most recent past president, Century 21, largest real estate franchise in the world, he said, you can't give something to somebody else unless you first have it. And so realizing the genius in other people is so powerful, so endearing. It'll attract so many people to us. But we have to first recognize it in ourselves. And it's not an arrogant, it's not a narcissistic thing. It's just a gift that we've been given, from a higher being, or from our parents, or maybe from our own life experiences, or those types of things that is really, really powerful, Kevin. So it's neat to see how, like, everybody's coming together. When I think of Alex, who's in the, in the military, he's in the reserves, and I think he's 26 years old.
Yeah.
And how he's working with MVP to produce a video that'll change the lives of millennials. I mean, it's just like, really? Like, that is so cool. And I think of the Coffee Connection where, Kevin, you and I, are in our 50s. We're with Jonathan and Alex, who are in their late 20s. And then Liliana, who's 7.5 months old, she was there too. Inspiring all of us to greatness. And I think about how those types of magical things change our thinking in such a powerful way.
Wow, I appreciate you sharing it. That is powerful. Can you help me understand, for those of us who are maybe in our 50s that are on this mastermind seminars, and they're wanting to lead people, maybe they have kids that are in their 20s, maybe they know their friends who have friends that are in their 20s who are millennials. What would be one of the key things, or maybe two key things you can think in terms of a winner, maybe a bigger, a challenge, where somebody in their 50s can connect with somebody in their 20s and make it something where it impacts both people and leverages that tremendous opportunity into something that can create change massively in the community and worldwide?
Yes, neat. As I reflect back, my wife and I, we have 7 children. 6 of those 7 are millennials. So somebody might call me an expert on millennials, and it's like, I think they're just like everybody else's kids, and there's days that I'm so proud of them, and I just think, man, they're amazing. Like, they're just absolutely amazing. Their mother did a great job in helping them become the young men and women, 3 boys, 4 girls, now 5 grandkids. But then there's other days that I think, Mark, you are the most pathetic father on the planet. I mean, they're just not getting it. So I think that a lot of individuals in their 50s, Kevin, are humbled by, I thought I did a good job. I tried to do a good job, wasn't perfect as a parent, but it seems like, I failed. So I think that a lot of times, like my kids hanging around other millennial kids, that like Alex, he's reading all of these books and he's taking all of his experience from the military, and he was just smoking hot at this last, meeting, and he went ahead and challenged Ed Kirch, who's in his 60s and owns a ton of companies, and Ed said something about leadership, and Alex said, well, I would challenge you to come and see, my unit in the military. And Alex said, he said, I'm training the people in my unit in the military to not need orders, but to see opportunities and to see needs and to take that initiative. And here's a gentleman that's 26. I'm like, my gracious. So I think, Kevin, in answer to your question, is they are geniuses. They just, like, they've been raised in an environment, in a world that's so connected but so disconnected. So smart but so stupid. So brilliant but so oblivious. So there's this huge gap between, and I think that, people in yours and my generation, Kevin, we don't know how to approach that. We don't know how to leverage it. From a business perspective, I have decades of networks and connections, and I think in talking with a lot of young men and women in their 20s, especially in the 30s, early 30s, they get a sense that people in their 50s and 60s in business don't really respect them. And I think the reason they get that sense, Kevin, is because we don't. And we should, and they should respect us. We should respect them. There's things we can do for them they can't do. There's things they can do for us that we can't do. Together, we truly can accomplish so much more than we ever could on our own.
Wow. Mark, I appreciate you sharing that. So I think what we need to do, not only in leadership, using millennials as an example, is to build that bridge, that bridge to them, to seek to know them, to seek to understand them, maybe humble ourselves in some of our thinking and say, what can I learn? And then maybe we can help bridge the gap to say maybe they can learn from us. We'll figure it out together, but that would be powerful, right?
Absolutely.
Wow. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I hope you're enjoying this as much as I am. If there's nobody online, which I know that is true, but even if there wasn't, Mark and I and Cheryl and Rosanna and Alan and Barb and many more people that are online that are part of the core team. They're kind of the people that are kind of operating this behind the curtain, as it were. You're seeing a nice presentation, but there's a lot of preparation that goes into this, the video, the audio, coordinating all the live feeds so you can see the pictures, things like that. Jonathan is doing a fantastic job of MVP for all of this. But, we're going to be gaining a tremendous amount of benefit from this, and we hope you will too. Please participate in what we're doing. You got a Twitter account, just go ahead and tweet that tweet. I mean, listen, I'm a 50-year-old. What do I know about Twitter? Come on now. Help me out. MM_seminars. Again, MM_seminars. Tag it, or the instructions on the video are right below it. Throw us a question. Challenge us. Bring it out. Let us really, because we want to think with you here. So I'm excited. We're going to get back into our next section.
We do have one question that came in, actually, really quickly.
Yeah.
We
awesome.
have a question coming in from Barbara, and she's asking when the next event will actually be. She wants to be a part of it. So.
Excellent. Well, Barb, it's going to be every third Thursday. Every third Thursday, and it's going to be virtual. No matter what, just wherever you are, get to a computer, okay, and you can be part of that. And it starts at 10:30 Central Standard Time, 10:30 Central Standard Time, and you can be part of that every single month. We've been doing it for 4 years. We're going to be doing it for many years to come, and we want you to be part of that. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Thank you.
Excellent.
What if you want to see a seminar in person?
That's a great question. What I would recommend you doing then is blocking out your calendar for the evening of November 17th and the day of November 17th. Again, the evening of November 16th and the day of November 17th. And that's going to be in Cincinnati, Ohio. We will get you the information. Again, MM_seminars. Tag it, or we will get you that information. Just let us know. That's going to blow your mind. We got people coming in from Maryland, from Illinois, from other parts of the United States that are going to be becoming part of this, and it's why because it's life changing. It's going to recreate your business, give you not only the shot in the arm, but also give you the tools which you can save hundreds of hours, thousands of hours of time and frustration in trying to reinvent the wheel. November 17th, Cincinnati, Ohio, and again the evening before that, which may be just as important, if not more, because we're going to have a dinner and we're going to have a kind of an informal time to talk and really brainstorm and have a live seminar. So it's kind of a 2-for-1. You get the evening before and the day of. Does that help?
It does.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, we encourage you all to be there. I'll be there. I'm flying out from where I am here in Chicago to MC that event, and we're going to be talking about the value of installing systems. Alan Stein, Tanglewood Conservatories in Maryland, are flying his entire team in to do the BOS system that you're about to see right now. And part of that team, part of the team that is with Alan is going to be Cheryl. Cheryl's going to be going through the personality masteries. Again, that's the DNA for people and how to help us understand how leadership here, Cheryl, who's really the HR department of Tanglewood Conservatories, help us understand how leadership and personalities kind of blend and how we can lead others and maybe even lead ourselves.
Thank you, Kevin, for the wonderful introduction. So, on what Kevin was saying, what I'm going to do is learning the art of personalities helps you to be a better leader. Being a better leader helps your team become more profitable. Here's the equation I want to talk about to you today. Is personalities plus leadership equals massive profits. So knowing the personalities is the first part of the equation. How do you get to know someone's personality? You ask a question, tell a story. Here's what I mean. Ask what shape the person you are talking with identifies, either a cube, a pyramid, a wavy line, or a ball. Now tell them the story about what the shape has to do with their personality. Let me share with you the story of each personality. So if they pick a cube, that means they're a driver. They're an analytical. They want detail, detail, detail. They need to cross their T's and dot their I's. They would rather do a task than talk to someone. Slower in responding to questions. And they speak in the past. And slow and steady wins the day. The painful part for them is things being out of order. And the weaknesses is getting stuck in the details and not getting the task done. So if they picked the pyramid is they see the big picture. They're a driver. They rely on others to create the detail to get the big picture done. They answer questions fast. They talk about the long term and the future. People come in second when it comes to tasks. They want to get it done really quick. What's painful for them is things being out of control. A weakness of theirs is moving too fast and missing details or running people over unintentionally. If they pick the wavy line, which is me, they want fun, 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 fun. And I put in extra fun. So talking to people is more fun than doing a task. They will quickly say hello to be friendly. When they speak, it's about what is happening in their present time. They like to move at a fast pace to keep it exciting. What causes them pain is things being boring and not fun. The weakness is wanting to have fun, and it gets in the way of accomplishing tasks. The last one is if they pick the ball, and that's my second one. The ball is they want relationships, relationships, relationships. Compatibility is their middle name. They're slower to start a conversation. They think in the short term, and speaking with someone will happen faster than getting a task accomplished. What causes them pain is when there's a conflict with someone else. And this causes a weakness of avoiding a subject or task because it will cause a conflict. So the second part of the equation is leadership. What are the characteristics of great leadership? And this is in my opinion. So its leadership it promotes thinking differently as a positive step for each team member. Having your team trust that you know what is good for the company. Communicating with each team member in the way they understand to be able to produce results quicker. Having systems in place to create stability. Being positive, even in the face of adversity, to show a level of confidence in the system. So, how does knowing the personalities and being a good leader equal massive profits? Well, I broke it up into your team and your customers. So for your team, it will help your team relate to one another, which will create an atmosphere of wanting to come to work as a team. When the team is thinking differently, they can be more creative to finding new and efficient processes, which adds to your bottom line. Teaching your team to drive things through gives them the opportunity to learn to think differently. Then in turn gives them the pride to work as if they owned the company as well. So when it comes to your customers, knowing how to relate to your customers helps to build trust and create a connection, which helps to turn the sale faster. Speaking and listening to them in a way that will not cause them pain will help you establish a deeper bond. As a leader, the more you show, you learn how to accomplish developing a relationship through the use of personalities. The better your team will do the same. So in closing, when your team can streamline processes and create a better system, and your sales team can close the deals faster, then you will have created massive profits. Get to know the personalities of your team and customers to be able to relate to one another. Ask them the shape question. Don't just guess what it is. Know for sure what you're able to communicate so that you're able to communicate more effectively with them. This will build a connection that will have no other effect than to grow your team, culture, and your profits. Does anyone have any questions?
Cheryl, how did you come across this? How did you learn all this information? What grasped your thought process in doing this?
Actually, I went back and looked at previous videos of presentations in years 1, 2, and 3, and I took a combination of all of them to come up with this presentation. And I'm learning it myself to be able to use with my HR and when I'm hiring people to, learn what personalities may work better with other personalities to hire the right person.
Wow.
Great, thank you.
That's spectacular. We have time for maybe one more question. Anyone else have a question for Cheryl? Okay. Anyone online at Twitter?
Hey, so I have a question. So how does it work with how does it work with existing team members? I mean, it was great to hear how you use the personalities in terms of hiring, but how do you use them to make a more effective team?
Well, if we educate everybody on the different personalities, and we do that during our seminars we have here quarterly. What we need to do is, what I've been thinking about is making a great big chart so that everybody knows what everybody's personality is, so that we can learn that, engineers, maybe there might be a little bit more detail-oriented, so we need to speak to them in the right way. We can help other team members talk to each other the way they will hear, then we get more accomplished.
Outstanding. Thank you so much, Cheryl. Alan, does that answer your question or not so much?
Yeah, that's fantastic. Great job, Cheryl. Thank you.
You're
Absolutely, Cheryl. Thank you so much. You did a fantastic job. I'm going to highly recommend you do something. Do exactly what Cheryl did. How do you do that? You too. It's not secret. It's not something that's hidden. You don't have to pay $100,000 to get a great password to get this 30 years of refined information that's going to absolutely transform your life. You can go to mastermind-seminars.org. Again, mastermind-seminars.org. And in the upper left-hand corner, there's a yellow banner that says, now in year 4, check it out. When you click that, you're going to see leadership. It's going to come up with the current topic, what we're talking about now. You can scroll down and you can see all the other year 1, 2, and 3 in terms of the videos. Any one of them you can look at. But if you just want to go back and review this, listen, very shortly, within a week or so, this seminar is actually going to be up there on that site, and you can review. If you don't review that, I'm really sorry for you. What Cheryl just gave you in a very short period of time is absolute gold. Please go look at the information, look at the presentation. It's going to absolutely change your life. Thank you so much, Cheryl. We're going to move on right now to the second segment of our BOS system, which is the DNA for business. The DNA for business, we call it the 530 grid. And we're going to have Rosanna, who's just magnificent. She has the awesome women's group, and she's going to be leading us and helping us understand how leadership and the 530 grid is going to change our lives. Rosanna, go ahead.
All right, Kevin. So, leadership. When you think of leadership, what do you think of? What do you see when you look at leadership? What does it mean to you? So imagine to be able to lead your team to greater success by just changing the way you think and doing things in your business. By just a little bit. As a leader, you need to be willing to listen to others. You need to be open to new ideas, not locked into your perspective, and willing to follow as needed. Willing to follow, you say? But I'm the leader. I own the company. I'm the manager. You know who I am? That exact thinking will need to change if you're planning to expect to create massive profits. Let's take a look at the way you need to think to make a breakthrough. Using the 530 grid for starters will help you to keep things organized and efficient, making sure you're training people underneath you that are always making sure that they keep track of their targets and they're developing and delivering a message and looking over their message, helping them to see things that they don't see, helping them to group the people and messages together, helping them to see how it helps the people that are around them, helps to grab people that they may not have thought of, making sure that they're always tracking their leads and looking over to see that they haven't forgotten just one, because one can make you lose quite a bit of money very quickly. Helping them to ask the key questions, help them to see how they can implement strategic strikes. All of these things are on the 530 grid and more. That right there in grouping people and messages together, that is what we call the golden triangle on the 530 grid. So having an efficient system to follow. And in order to do that, you have to go ahead and be able to willing to follow a system, and that means good leadership. Leadership is teaching others to pick up and to give them opportunities to do so. We had a discussion prior to this event about someone picking up and doing a leadership position to give another leader a break. And it was a little hard for the leader to let go. And I think that, as leaders, we need to remember when to let go and when to go ahead and say, hey, do this first, and then maybe you can follow or be the leader. It's looking for answers. It's seeing the big picture. It's looking for ways to lead. Always having systems like the 530 grid I just directed you to give direction. Leaders can train others to see, think, and do without being told. Direct those under you so that they can be leaders. A good leader is also a good follower. And I think that, if we always look at the ways that good leaders lead, there's a book out there called Good to Great by Jim Collins. I know quite a few good leaders that have read through that book. And it says here that an effective leader catalyzes commitment to and vigorous pursuit of a clear and compelling vision. So having a vision for your team is very important when you're leading, making sure you know where you want your team to go. If you don't have a vision for your team, how are you going to make the profit? So I think it's very important to always make sure that you have a vision when it comes to being a leader, and making sure that when you have a chance to let someone else take the place, let them do it. Let them try. I mean, you can always pick up the pieces, but you can see what needs to be fixed and what doesn't. What if you're not there? What if you take a week off at the end of the month and someone has to take over your spot? Do you have other people taking that? Do you have other people that can be the genius that you are? So those are just thoughts that I think a leader should do. And if you want more information about it, please feel free to go to dnaforsuccess.com and click on the 530 grid. You'll find out what I'm talking about when I talk about the 530 grid. Thank you.
Excellent. Man, that was fantastic, Rosanna. Does anybody have any questions? If anybody has any questions, you can do it here, or you can ask them on. Go ahead.
Yeah. Hey, Rosanna. So I was curious about the example you were talking about the leader who wouldn't let go. So how would that leader, say, for example, use the 530 grid to help?
Well, I think if you go ahead and help a leader to see or help someone who's wanting to take that space to see the importance of following a system first. And so the 530 grid is a system and a solution for a business and helps it organize it very clearly. And so if the person under you wants to take and try to do the leadership, they should make sure that they're following a system.
Right.
That answer your question or no?
Well, yeah, but then I have another question. So what happens? What happens if the team isn't strong enough in some areas to be able to do the task at hand?
Well, then you go back and find out where they're weak, and you have to say, okay, is the weakness that they're not tracking the leads? Is the weakness that they're not seeing the opportunity? Is the weakness that their message is not right? What is the weakness in? And so I think finding the weakness in a particular area, and if they're following 530 grid, you can find out very quickly which weakness it is, I think. I may be wrong. You might want to direct that direction to Mark.
I'm just curious, Alan. Like, how would a leader know that the team's not strong enough?
If the leader, for example, has been doing something for a long time, and maybe they're not doing it in the best way, or maybe they are, but and then the leader, say, gives small opportunities for team members to do things, and maybe even big things, and maybe they don't go so well. So, how much caution does a leader have to exercise?
So have you found, Alan, that if people make mistakes and have to clean up their own mistakes, that they tend to learn faster and better, or not so much?
I'm trying to think. So I've been in business for 30 years now, and I'm trying to think of a time when somebody cleaned up the mess that they made, rather than leaving it for, say, the owner of the business. And I'm trying to think about that. I'm working on that. If I can think of an example, I'll get back with you on that.
Yeah, and you might just have such a spectacular team that they clean things up and don't even let you know that it was messed up. I mean, I don't know.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
Right? It's like maybe they're just so good. Normally, when people around me make mistakes, it seems like I'm very much aware of those and paying for those. But I'm sure that probably people make mistakes and clean things up a lot more than I realize. So do you think you've changed your mind or not?
Changed my mind about what?
About the earlier conversation. Like, if you get a chance, for those that are listening, pre-show, post-show, come to the event early, stay late, because that's where the real magic occurs. So have you altered it or not yet? You're still working on it?
I'm working on it.
Okay, good.
Yeah, and by the way, I'm not saying that was related to my question.
Oh, no, me either. I was just curious.
So, quick thought that I missed a quote that I thought might be helpful out of the Good to Great book. When you hire self-disciplined people who don't need to be managed, then manage the system, not the people. So making sure that when you're hiring, that you're hiring people that are self-disciplined in the first place, so you don't have to go ahead and be, as maybe not as the only leader. You can allow others to be a leader.
Alan, are you laughing as much as I'm laughing? I mean, that sounds like some university professor writing some theoretical book that has total cluelessness as it relates to. I mean, it's like, what, you think the students that are coming out of college are disciplined people? Like, I'd love to ask that, whoever come up with that quote, where do you find disciplined people? Because I've only found that you build them, you cannot find them, but maybe I'm missing something.
Well, that's what Jim Collins, he's the one that wrote it.
Oh, this is just spectacular, isn't it? I hope you're having as much fun as I am. This is amazing, Rosanna. Thank you so much. Alan, Mark, absolutely great questions, great interaction. Wow, there's so much going on here. We're moving into our next segment, and it's going to be the natural laws. It is the DNA of life. And Alan Stein, who's the president of Tanglewood Conservatories, which build absolutely gorgeous glass sanctuaries, glass conservatories, glass rooms that are just unlike anything else in the entire world is going to be coming and now presenting how leadership and the natural laws can help us change our thinking and change our business moving forward. Alan, take it away.
Yeah, thanks, Kevin. So in creating massive profits, so we've heard some fabulous examples and ideas from Cheryl and from Rosanna. Cheryl talked about personalities, Rosanna about the business system. So there's a third leg of what we call the boss system, and that's called the natural laws. And in order to really create massive profits, an understanding of the natural laws is required. So what are the natural laws? So the natural laws are the laws that kind of govern the universe, and they determine how everything in the universe works. And if you want to think about, well, what's a natural law? Well, just think about like gravity. So, if you jump out of a building, you're going to fall and probably die if it's fairly high. So that's a natural law. And there are infinite number of natural laws that govern how the world works and certainly how business works. So some of the most important natural laws that I've discovered or have found that really help in my life and my business are the next dimension principle. And this is this law states that in any given dimension there are levels of proficiency. So getting to the top, getting to be the most proficient in any one dimension only gets you to the top of that dimension. And then there's another level and another level and another level for infinity. So I had a hard time understanding this one at first. And then Mark pointed out, gave me an example of, say, a high school athlete. So the high school athlete, maybe in junior or senior year, they're pretty good, and maybe at the end of senior year, they're in the varsity and they're really at the top and they're the best athlete on the team, maybe even of all the teams around. So they would be on a scale of 1 to 10, a 10. Now, when they go into college, for example, are they still going to be at the top? Probably not. So they're going to start in a completely different dimension. They'll start at a 1 or a 2, and they'll have to work up to that dimension. Then maybe they get to the top dimension of that dimension. Maybe they go into the pros. So that's a great example and really helped me think about what the next dimension is. So what prevents us from jumping to higher dimensions? So there's another principle that I learned about, which is called the walls of opportunity. And that states that whenever there's a opportunity, we call it, there's never problems, there's only opportunities. So whenever there's an opportunity, a wall presents itself, there are numerous ways to go around it and to try to get through it. So you can go over it, under it, to the right, to the left. You can blow it up. You can try to tear it down. And there are actually other ways as well. So what happens when most people come across a wall of opportunity? They might try 1 or 2 ways to try to deal with the issue. And if it doesn't work out, maybe they give up and turn back. And maybe that's going to be the thing that keeps them from jumping to another dimension. But at the same time, they might try 1 or 2 or 3, and maybe one of those works. And they say, aha, I found it. Good, I can go on to the next issue. And maybe that's a good solution to the problem, but maybe it's not a great solution. And maybe what they do is they're reinforcing the way that they think with that solution. So going further and always trying to push harder is the thing that can get us through walls of opportunity to higher dimensions. Well, so say that you do push forward with walls of opportunity, and you stick with it and you don't accept the easy solutions that come or the ones that we're used to, you might find yourself in some pretty rough waters. There's a principle called the Mach 1 principle. So the Mach 1 principle states that if you're really going to jump to another dimension, that just before you do, you reach the point of maximum turbulence and maximum resistance. So what that means is that the closer you get to a breakthrough to a new dimension, the harder and harder it becomes. And there's a story about how Chuck Yeager, who was the first man to ever break the sound barrier, a lot of people had tried to do that before, but as soon as they got close to the speed at which you break through the sound barrier, the whole airplane starts to shake. There's lots and lots of turbulence, and everybody before thought that if they kept going and they actually hit the speed, the sound barrier speed, that the airplane would actually disintegrate and they'd die. So they pulled back on the throttle and everybody had stopped. Well, Chuck Yeager said, no, I want to see what's going to happen here. And so he just pushed it, and when he hit that turbulence, he kept going. And as soon as he broke through the sound barrier, everything became smooth. Because all the resistance, he was moving faster than the resistance, which was now behind him. So it teaches us that in order to create massive profits, we have to understand the next dimension principle, we have to understand the walls of opportunity principle, and we have to understand what happens when we break through to a new dimension, which is the Mach 1 principle. So thank you very much. And anybody have any questions? Nancy, do you have a question?
I think you did a terrific job, Alan.
And what kind of question might you have?
How can I use that Mach 1 principle in today, right now?
That's a great question. So I know that you're facing some particular challenges today. Maybe in the way that you think about something or some things can be challenging. I think, I see that. I get that. I face the same thing. So as you try to get through that, what happens is that, most people think that as you work through a problem, it gets easier as you get closer to the answer. But it's actually just the opposite. And so the fact that it gets harder and more resistance shows that is when you're actually really making progress towards the solution. Kind of counterintuitive. So does that help?
It helps to know that I'm going in the right direction. Sure.
So Nancy, quick question. Do you think, like, if, somebody was kind of stuck in something and they were able to go ahead and make a breakthrough and just say, you know what, I'm going to do it. Do you think that inspire you, or maybe not so much?
Sure it would.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know. Sorry for interrupting. Go ahead, Alan.
Yeah, and Nancy, do you think that if you were to do that and make a breakthrough, that would inspire other people around you to make a breakthrough?
I'm not so sure about that.
Well, wait a minute.
It would inspire me, Nancy.
Me too.
Me too.
All right, any other questions?
That's good. I'm going to charge for it. This is Mach 1 principle.
All right.
Outstanding.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you, Alan. We really appreciate that. Wow, the Mach 1 principle. Nancy, thank you so much. Cheryl, Barb, Mark, thank you so much for your comments. That's what this is about. It's about together, everyone achieving more. We do so on our own. So again, that is the DOS system, the DNA for people, DNA for business, and DNA for life. And I hope you're starting to picture of how this can help your business, specifically in personality masteries, making sure that we can communicate with others the way they want to be communicated with, and understanding how we take people in leadership and we can guide them through the 530 grid, and in leadership, how that's going to change things for them. And then obviously with the natural laws, like the Mach 1 principle, where the closer we're getting to the solution, the harder it's going to get till we make a breakthrough into that next dimension. So thank you so much to Cheryl, to Rosanna, to Alan for doing the BOS system for us. And now we're going to move into Q&A. If you haven't done so already, I would recommend if you got a Twitter account, do @MM_seminars. Again, @MM_seminars, or click on the live video chat and ask us online, the online chat. So now we're just going to open it up. Is there any specific questions that have not been asked yet, or that you need help with in terms of helping you overcome the biggest challenge you currently have? Maybe it's time in leadership. Maybe it's being able to lead people. It's something along those lines. Maybe it's the personality masteries. Maybe something in the 530 grid, and maybe it's the natural laws. So we're going to open it up. Does anyone have any questions about any of those three segments that we've covered that you'd like further clarification?
Yeah, I have a question. On that personality masteries, you talked about...
Hey, Barb, we're having a hard time hearing you. Could you please speak up?
Is that better?
That's better. A little bit more.
Okay.
Great.
Is that really good?
That's great. Go ahead.
Okay. My question is, I know the personality masteries works well with business, but what about in a nonprofit or some other volunteer thing that I'm working in?
Yeah, great question. Cheryl, do you have any insights for us? Mark?
To me, personality, knowing anybody's personality works across the board. Works in your personal life, works in, nonprofits, talks to anybody you're speaking with on the phone. You don't have to meet them face to face. If you know what personality is that you're talking to, you'll get more accomplished. So don't be afraid. Ask the question about the shapes.
Thank you.
I would say, Barb, anything having to do with people, so spouse, children, friends, family, brothers, sisters, nonprofit, community, donors, volunteers, contributors, clients, everything. When we understand the deep science of personality masteries, and Life Masteries Institute, a nonprofit organization, they have a great online course that people that have gone through it are just, they're just blown away by how much they learn. And you can get to that course by going to www.dnaforsuccess.com and then go to solutions and then go to online courses. And you'll find that and a number of other courses there. But when we understand the different personalities, Barb, and our own first and foremost, we understand why we do what we do. Not what we do, but why we do what we do. We're able to more clearly see our own prejudice. And when we see our own prejudice, then we're able to help other people with maybe their prejudice. Often we'll see other people's hypocrisy or their flaws in their ways of thinking, but we don't see our own. And if we don't see our own, probably most likely, Barb, we're not going to do a real good job in communicating maybe other people's flaws in their thinking until we understand the limitation and the flaws in our thinking. Matt Maple, he's got an amazing company that's working with companies in HR and organizations. So how do you take all your employees? How do you help your contributors, your volunteers? And how do you build systems that are based on the personality masteries to help people understand and come together and use the different energies within personality masteries to really leverage all of our gifts to the maximum benefit for mutual win-win-win beneficial situations.
Got it.
Excellent.
Hey,
thank you.
Hey, I've got a question, Kevin. So I'm going to go back to this. I want to go back to this question about the leadership and giving responsibility to team and other members outside of the company, for example. So, and what I want to know is, how does the leader know? I guess my question is, how does the leader know or make a decision on that could potentially have really serious consequences for the health and well-being of the company.
So which of the four personalities is making that conclusion that it's very significant?
Well, I wouldn't know. I guess it would be. Yeah, I don't know.
Analytic, often amiable, often. So often the level 1 and 2 frequencies, what they think is significant may not be nearly as significant as what they think it is. But there's always at least one or two situations that they said were significant, nobody believed them. And sure enough, it was significant and there was a big price. But they somehow, and I don't understand how, but they somehow forget the millions of times that they thought it was significant, and it never really was significant. So a lot of times 1 and 2 totally overreact to how significant things they think they are when they're really not. Now, 3 and 4 will often underreact, although 4 will overreact to control. So if they feel that control is going to be lost, they will be very, very overreactive on that. And at some point, to make a breakthrough dimensionally for them, they actually learn that the best way to gain control is to lose control. So sometimes in leadership, the best way to learn, the best way for the people that we're leading to learn is to fail. Has the leader done a good job in helping the person take ownership of that? Often leaders forget all the mistakes that they've made and they've somehow survived. And so have they, taught the person to take ownership? Have they modeled and demonstrated that? And then ideally to clean up your own mess as well. If somebody is managing up and out all along the way, it's really, really hard to make a mistake. So, for example, if somebody on the 530 grid was, applying, I don't know, just hypothetically something to Cincinnati, maybe architects in Cincinnati, if somebody was saying, here are the targets and managing up and out, a good leader is going to be like, look through the targets and know, okay, ooh, that one right there, might not want to go after that one. If they're managing up and out to develop and deliver a message, then the leader can go ahead and look and say, is that a great message, terrible message? How confident am I going to be in that it won't work? So if they're managing up and out, Alan, all along the way, you greatly reduce any possibility of error or catching it very quickly and making it, right.
Mark, let me just interject real quick for those of us who are online, people that may not understand what up and out means. What are the 3 or 4 questions you would up and out to your leader or as a leader when you've learned something? What are the questions you might want to answer?
Sure. So the foundation of up and out is, so I'm reading a white paper, I'm hearing direction, I'm, watching a video, I've been to a seminar or something, you're my leader, Kevin, and I go ahead and say, this is what I've learned.
Okay.
1. 2, this is the action I'm going to take from what I learned.
Right.
And then 3 is, what do I need to learn next? Now, more advanced up and out, if you're working on a project, it might be, here's the steps I've taken, here's the results that it's produced, and this is what I think, I need, the actions I need to take. And maybe if you have a leader that really likes to know everything, you might say, this is why I think I'm taking the actions I am. And so it's essentially communicating the past, the present, and the future. And a good leader can look at that in seconds and say, you know what, I'm not sure that's the best thing. But it's like a toddler. They're going to fall. That's
right.
Part of life. They're not by a cliff. and they're not by scissors.
Right.
It's fine. They'll fall and they'll bruise and they'll learn. A good leader will be able to get a sense and allow the people around them to fail with little things, so when they get to the big things, they won't make the failure.
Gotcha. Alan, does that answer your question or not so much?
Well, not so much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any ideas, Kevin, why not so much? Like, what would you recommend?
I'm thinking.
There's this book out there, How to Be the Best Student in the World. And if Alan went ahead and read that, I think, and really drilled in deeper, I think if he really drilled in deeper to that book, I think that it would reveal some really cool, exciting things.
Yeah, I've heard about that book.
It's a good one. I'm telling you. That's a life changer. Yeah.
Not what I've heard.
Oh, my goodness. We're almost out of time here, but thank you so much for your questions. Thank you so much for the contributions that you've all been making today. In conclusion, I just want to again thank Mark and Cheryl, Rosanna, Alan, Barb, everyone who's participated here on the call. Thank you that you are tweeting the questions at MM_seminars. So what's our next step? The next step is terrific things happening next month. What's happening next month? Well, we're going to do this again, except our topic is not leadership. Our topic is creating profitable partnerships. I'm going to ask you before you go to that next opportunity here, which is going to be in 4 weeks. It's going to be the third Thursday at 10:30 Central Standard Time, is to review what we've learned today. Because often the point of instruction and the point of learning do not coincide. So it's important to review. The videos will be up at mastermind-seminars.org. Click in now in year 4, which is the banner just to the left. It says check it out. And there you're going to learn so much more. And here's what I'm going to recommend you do as well. Your next step, before I promote what's happening next month, is step 1 is 30-minute free assessment. That's also on mastermind-seminars.org. Then the second step after that, after people have gone to that, is to go to what? Step 2 is determining the best mastermind group to join. You click there and you find out what's going on. Step 3 is implementation. Take action, commit, and click there. You're going to find that that's going to fast track you to getting things done and faster than anything else. I want to really let you know that this event on November 17th is going to be an absolute game changer. We talk about investing in time and energy and money and systems, businesses, but if you're not there, you're going to miss out on a lot. It could take you years, if not a decade, to catch up. And that's the way things move today, and that's how powerful this system is. Trust the integrity of the system and be there. Next month, here on this live virtual mastermind seminar, we are going to be going into creating profitable partnerships. What's a profitable partnership? See, once we've marketed what we do, good or a service, and then we go to the pre-sales, and then the sales, which is the yes or the no, and then we go into the servicing aspect of it, which is step 4, which is creating something and helping them get to that next level by servicing that client really, really well. We move into that 5th aspect into what is profitable partnerships, and that's creating a client-for-life relationship with people. And I can't emphasize how important that is, because we've spent so much time getting there, haven't we? In creating a business and creating clients and making sure that they're taken care of and that they're brought in. It's so hard trying to find new ones, but we find one, we got to really, really spend time in making sure that they're clients for life. That is what is going to make a difference in your life. If you're not here, you're going to miss out so much. So get here early for the pre-show, stay for the show, and stay afterwards for the post-show, because it's going to be tremendous. Thank you so much for your time today. We hope you got tremendous value out of this. We look forward to seeing you next month here live, and then live and in person in November in Cincinnati, Ohio. Thanks. Have a fantastic day. God bless, and we'll see you next month.
Wow. So what did you think? Did you feel like you're drinking out of a fire hose? A lot of information in a very short period of time. We get it. Don't worry if you don't pick it all up the first time, because each month you'll come back, you'll pick up more and more each and every month. The more we pick up and apply, the more money we'll earn as a result of attending this event, and the more time we'll have, the less stress we'll have, and the greater life balance we'll have in every area of life we value. Often people ask, what's next? Great question. Did you register yet that you attended? If not, do that immediately at www.mastermind-seminars.org/register. That's www.mastermind-seminars.org/register. And we will assist you in having strong follow-through with what you learn. There are some amazing follow-up resources that we will get over. There is no charge for any of these resources. Okay, so you've registered. Now what? If you haven't already done your complimentary 30-minute gift coaching session, then that is the place to start. Go to www.dnaforsuccess.com. Go to the top drop-down, examination, and then free 30-minute strategy session. Click on that. It will literally take you 3 minutes to complete that, and then someone from Legacy Partners and Mastermind Seminars will call you and give you your 30-minute strategy session. Again, there's no cost. It's a gift from every one of us to you. Go into that 30-minute strategy session expecting that your business and life will be changed forever, because it has so for so many people. Again, go to www.dnaforsuccess.com, go to the top drop-down examination, and then free 30-minute strategy session. Once you complete that, there are so many different possible solutions to assist you in overcoming the biggest challenge you're currently facing, and how to help you develop your very own BOS, the engine which runs your business. There are weekly live mastermind calls, coffee connections you can attend at no cost. There are online courses, group coaching, media solutions, and even one-on-one coaching which can be provided to you depending on your specific needs and overall goals. Please do not leave today without committing to meeting with at least 2 other people, either over coffee or over the phone, at a minimum once a week, to follow through on all the amazing information, ideas, tools, systems, and great people, both locally and then around the world, through Mastermind Seminars and Legacy Partners. One side note, because there is no charge to attend, participate, and gain massive benefit from Mastermind Seminars, individuals often wonder, how do these amazing events are funded? Well, they are actually funded by generous individuals just like you who give financially weekly through Coffee Connection contributions or monthly through Mastermind Seminars. Your generous contribution to Life Masteries Institute, which is an IRS-approved 501c3 nonprofit organization, not only enables the events, tools, and networks to be developed and given to you and others, but also a portion of your gift goes to many great causes. When we give generously in a financial way, we gain financially as well. No gift is too small. Even giving $5 a week or even a month will make a big difference. To give, go to www.mastermind-seminars.org/pay-it-forward. That's www.mastermind-seminars.org/pay-it-forward. Here is what others have found. In just getting started with my company, I didn't feel I could give anything. Even $5 a month was a sacrifice. I decided to do that, and as soon as I started to give financially, I became more focused on turning what I was learning into financial gain for me personally, and it worked. I'm now contributing a little more and will continue to increase my giving as my business and income grows. Adam, a new entrepreneur. We have given over $45,000 because we know it's the right thing to do. Yes, We do give of our personal and company resources, time and talents, but we also know how important it is to give financially as well. We have found that when we give financially, we become more focused on turning our involvement into sales and financial success. It seems that those who do not give financially, they often do not gain financial benefit. The entire Mastermind seminar experience has done more for building a successful culture through our entire company than hundreds of thousands of dollars in consultants, seminars, and workshops. We've accomplished more in a couple of years than the 20 plus years prior. Any individual, any company, any organization which does buy in and get their entire company involved is, how do I best say it, missing out on a chance of a lifetime. Alan Stein and Nancy Virts, owners, www.tanglewoodconservatories.com. I give financially weekly, and my business has more than doubled. Ginger Ann Collins, owner EVA, executive virtual assistant, and executive coach. www.dnaforsuccess.com/implementation/E-VAS. The more I give financially, the more I receive financially. Ann Wayman, Dream Giver, Ghostwriter, www.annwayman.com. I was looking for additional income streams, and by giving financially, it's opened so many doors for me. So many opportunities become available when we are financially generous. Ed Noel, mortgage professional, owner, leadership, and team building coach. It was really tough for us to give anything, as we had invested so much into our business. But we decided to start out with $25 a month. We didn't think of it as a very big gift, but the truth is, it was a lot for us when we started. And the doors that financial gift has opened for us are huge. We will be giving a portion of what we generate in our business back to Life Masteries Institute and pay it forward to help others around the world gain financial freedom. Steve and Avalinda Casey, owner, real estate investing, speaker, and author. Being a part of Mastermind seminars over the last 3 years has changed the way I think about every area of life. When we give financially, we not only support what is given to us, but we assist others in our community and around the world. Be generous. Kevin King, helping people save money on health insurance. My business has benefited so much from the Mastermind seminars and coffee connections. It's the right thing to give back weekly financially. Jonathan Sparrow, owner, web technology, www.themvpnetwork.org. If you have any questions, thoughts, or ideas from today, please connect with the individual who invited you to attend or your MC, host, or you can even call toll-free 888-230-2300. That's 888-230-2300, or the U.S. base number is 630-393-9909. That's 630-393-9909. Always remember, we can accomplish far more together than we ever could on our own. So think of 3 other individuals you believe would benefit from what we shared and invite them to your Mastermind conference call, coffee connection, and next month's Mastermind seminar event. Have an amazing day and life.